Hi class. This week we're talking about cups and handles. And so I've weighed out some clay to a pound and a half for a cup. And I've drawn a cup profile of what I want to make. It really helps to have this in front of you as you're throwing so you can take a look and see where to push in, where to push out, and the overall form. Okay, it's nice to have a visual. So I'm gonna put that in front of me to look at as I throw, and we'll get started. So everything is done the same as you have been doing, making cylinders. Cups are just cylinders with a little bit more form if you want. You can always throw them straight cylinders and add a handle to that if you want to too. So let's go. We're gonna start by centering. Sometimes it's harder to throw with small amounts of clay. Okay, so I'm just going up and down, centering. So it gets centered, getting close. Take off that little bit right there. Okay, everything looks good and centered. I'll go ahead and open it up. Add a little water as I'm going down. Okay. And if you want to add a nice sized foot, you need to leave a little bit more clay on the bottom. So you don't want to get as close to the bottom if you're going to leave a foot. So that's about almost a ½ inch. Okay. Now I'm going to open it up by bringing my fingers out. And I want a little bit of a round bottom. Okay, so I opened it up and now I compress back in, although it's turning out to be a little bit flatter on the bottom than rounder, so I guess I'll have a flatter bottom. Okay, now you can see this lip is pretty thick from when I pulled it out, so I'm just going to compress and pinch it. I'm going to put some water on there. I'm just compressing down here, but I'm pinching to make that a little bit smaller. Okay, it's easier to bring up. And now I'm ready to bring up the walls. Okay, so I'll pick up all the water. I'm gonna move my stool over and work at 3 o'clock, and I'm just gonna go a little bit slower. You know, I've been watching the class throw, and a lot of you like to go fast. It's okay if you wanna go fast, but I've been thinking about that lately, and it's sort of like driving in a fast car or driving in a car and riding a bike or walking. When you drive in a car, you're focused on the destination. You want to get there. When you're riding a bike or walking, you're taking your time and looking at the landscape and noticing things around you. And that's how I feel it is with throwing. If you go fast, you're focused on the product, on getting it done, on making the thing. But if you slow down, you take your time a little bit, you can see the clay, what the clay does. You can respond to it a little bit more than just going through the motions and doing the steps. You're experiencing what the clay does while it does it. I want to slow that down even a little bit more. So try going slow and see if that changes your perspective on your relationship with the clay. Okay, so now I'm going to put water on the lip. I'm going to work at 3 o'clock. And I'm going to start applying pressure down here. I'm pushing against my inside hand, getting that thickness of clay, and then when my hands meet, they both come up together. And as I get close to the top, I ease off. When I get up there, pick up all the water that's inside and compress the lip. Okay. the lip so it goes inside and out. Come back down here, start applying pressure, get that thickness right there, and bring it up. And again, see, I'm going nice and slow so I can really feel that clay moving. If you're going really fast, you might not notice that. You might not get that feel. Get to the top, ease off. Pick up all the water and compress the lip. Okay, put a little water on the lip. Okay, go back down. Feel that lump right there, that thickness form, and then I'm bringing it up. Okay. That was a nice, slow, smooth pull. All the way up, ease off. Okay, now I'm looking down the rim here, all the way down. Can you get a picture of that? So you can just see how even the wall is becoming. So I don't want to go, if you can get up here maybe and look down. There you go. Okay. So you can see how even that wall's getting, and it's nice and thin, so I don't have much left. So at this point, I'm going to form it. I'm going to push out a little bit with my inside hand, put some water on the lip so it goes in and out. And I'm going to start by pushing out here. Now my outside hand is just there for support, like the inside hand usually is. And I'm going to push out and come up slightly, so it's roundy there. Right. Oh, I need my sponge here. So you can see that going out. And then I'm going to switch and pull it back in and come up, and then I'm going to go out slightly. Okay, and I could slow my wheel down. So I wanted to add a little shape to this, right? So it's kind of going in and out. I'll pick up all the water. And if I can't reach down in there, I'll use that little sponge on a stick. Okay, and I'm going to look at the profile. Now I'm not going to be too concerned with this down here because I'm looking at the inside and seeing the curve on the inside. On the outside there's a little thickness there, and I can trim that off later. So it's looking pretty good. What do you think? Can you see the similarity? I think I'm going to go back down and push out a little bit more right down here. Okay, and I'm just going to start there. There we go. Now I have more of a curve there coming up and here, and I'm just going to push out just slightly with this finger because I want that to curve. That's how it is in my drawing, right? This little curve here. So now it's nice and curvy, and actually I think that starts to go in here, so I'm just going to push on the outside against my inside hand and try to get that to curve back and a little bit more curvy right there. Okay, and then I don't want the ridges that are on there, so I'm just going to use my rib and smooth it out. Okay, now I am going to trim that. So I'm just going to, I'm bracing with my inside hand, and I'm just using my rib with a light touch on there. It's fun to try different shapes on cups. And now I'll just take my paper towel and wet it, and kind of just finish up that lip a little bit. Oops, I squeezed it. There we go. One more look at the profile, and I'll take off some of the extra clay right here down at the bottom. So I'm just holding my knife nice and tight with both hands so it doesn't get away from me. Run my needle tool under there. Oops. Okay. hold my wire tool. You can use your wheel to go around as you cut through there. And then I like to rinse my hands off and dry them really good. And when they're nice and dry, the piece will come right off in your hands. I like to use these fingers here and just lift it off. And then these fingers go underneath it to help support it. Okay, there we go, 1 cup.